There are special percentiles called quartiles. Quartiles are numbers that divide the data into fourths. 1/4 or a quarter of the data falls between consecutive quartiles. So you can see here we have the smallest data to Q1 is the bottom 25% of the data. Then the smallest to the median or known as, or can be identified as Q2. This would be 50%. Smallest to Q3 would be 75, and smallest to the largest would then obviously be 100%. Notice that I just highlighted 5 different things. These are called the 5-number summary. We will get into that in a little while, but you have the 5 different items right there. So to find the quartiles, you can use number 1 on the calculator sheet. To do it by hand, you sort the data in increasing order. Then to find the median, this divides the data list into 2 halves. So you have 50% at the bottom and 50% of the data values on top. Then you find the median of the data below the median. That would be your Q1. And then you find the median of the data above the median, which is Q3. Here's some examples of how to calculate the median. Just so you know, if you Google how to find medians or use different devices, unfortunately there's no standardized way to find median in the math world, or not median, the quartiles in the math world. So if you go to Wikipedia, there's a whole bunch of different approaches. So just please focus on the approach that I'm teaching you today. So say you have an even number for sample size. You find the median. You average the 2, right? And then for quartile 1, it's the middle. So if your data set is odd, you automatically get that middle number. So this is the 6th number in. You ignore that, then you find the median. Okay, the interquartile range, also known as IQR. The IQR is Q3 minus Q1. This contains the middle 50% of the data. So again, Q3 minus Q1, middle 50%. 25 plus 25. So determining probable outliers from IQR, you can use fences. So a value that is less than this formula, so take Q1, subtract 1.5 times your IQR. This value is referred to as your low fence. So anything lower than that is an outlier. So very similarly, take Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. This is a high fence. Anything above that is an outlier. Here's an additional video if you would like to watch it. So let's look at this example. We have the min, quartile 1, median, quartile 3, and max. That's your 5-number summary. The total assets in billions of Australian dollars of Australian banks for the year 2012 are given below. Find the 5-number summary, the interquartile range, and determine probable outliers. Okay, so I'm sure we could all do this by hand. I'm going to write it in this increasing order, but I want to show you it on the Google Sheets. So first I'm just going to paste the data value into a blank sheet so I can get it to be in a column. You want to paste your values, so Control-Shift-V. I'm going to transpose the first line, and then down here equals transpose the second line. So here's your list. Go into your calculator sheet, clear the data that's in there before, Control-Shift-V for values. Your minimum is 2,855. Quartile 1, 2,873. Median, Q3, and then your max. So that's your 5-number summary right there. Your IQR is right here. Q3, you can double check if you want, but Q3 minus Q1. You can also see that's the formula. So D8 minus D6. Do not change those formulas. I added these for you. Lower fence. And then upper fence. So are there any lower outliers? Nope. Any upper outliers? Nope. So you can write down all that information in your notes here. So your min is 2,855 Australian dollars, Q1, median, also known as Q2, Q3, and your max. So if you wanted to do the IQR by hand, you could have just taken Q3 minus Q1. Okay, and 113.5. Outliers, again, you could have done these by hand. Remember, outlier for the lower fence is Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. So I'm just going to do this one with you. So quartile 1 minus 1.5, and the IQR is 113.5. So you put that in your calculator, you get 2702.75. That's your lower fence. Upper fence, 3156.75. You can see that the minimum is 2,855, and that is not lower than the 2,702. The same for the max, 3,032, is not greater than the upper fence. So there are no outliers.